Ever get that feeling scrolling through tons of websites trying to find like the perfect wedding videographer? What makes you stop on one and not another?
Yeah, totally.
Today, we're going to kind of dig into that, uncover what makes a website for someone like that, really, really work.
Draw people in.
Exactly. And we've got this great article from Site Design NOW. It's a web design company. They're actually in Logan, Australia.
Oh,
But they're super focused on building sites for videographers, which I think is interesting, right?
yeah. Niche market.
But the cool thing is the advice they give, it's like pure gold. Anyone who wants to, send out online.
Make that impact.
Yes, no matter what you do. So get ready, take some notes. We're about to extract the magic so you can make your own online presence, like irresistible.
That's the goal. It's fascinating how this super specific topic actually reveals these universal truths about attracting the right clients.
100%.
No matter what field you're in.
And the article really jumps into it. It stresses that your portfolio is the storefront of your website.
Makes sense.
Easy enough, but what does that actually mean in the digital world?
Right. So think about it this way. Your portfolio isn't just a gallery of, past projects.
Yeah.
It's more like, imagine the digital equivalent of a high-end boutique.
Okay.
You're curating what you're showing to attract the right kind of client.
Oh, I love that. Like, the article goes into showcasing diversity in your work.
Right.
Choosing quality over quantity, making it all easy to navigate. There's this one tip that really stood out to me, including weddings from different locations around Australia.
Yeah, it's like showing off your range.
Yeah, exactly. It's like saying, hey, we can handle a beach wedding, a vineyard wedding, city wedding, you name it.
Exactly. It shows versatility.
Yeah.
It's not just what you've done, but your ability to adapt to different vibes, different styles. That translates to any field, whether you're a designer, a writer, a consultant, anything. You're saying, I can meet your needs.
I love that. So you're curating a story with your portfolio, highlighting the skills and styles that make you stand out.
Right.
Not just throwing everything up there.
It's visual storytelling, but applied to your whole online presence.
Oh,
Your
like
website,
that.
your social media, even your LinkedIn profile. They're all telling a story about you.
Okay, love it. Now, on to something I'm very, very passionate about.
Okay, let's hear it.
Service packages and pricing. Can I just vent for a second?
Of course. Vent away.
There is nothing more frustrating than a website with zero info about costs.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's like, am I going to have to sell a kidney to afford your services? Come on.
You're hitting on something huge. It's trust building. Transparency.
Right.
Being upfront about pricing, what's in each package, even offering customizable options. It makes a difference, especially in a market like this.
I think this ties into the whole trend we're seeing, personalized experiences.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
People want to feel like they're getting something tailored to their needs,
Yeah.
not just a one-size-fits-all. So highlighting those value adds, it's key.
Exactly. What makes you unique? Why are you worth it?
Right, exactly.
When people understand exactly what they're getting, it aligns with what they need. They know the cost up front.
Makes the decision easier.
So much easier. And it saves everyone time, less mismatched expectations later.
Okay, let's talk testimonials. The article is all about their power. But in this day and age, fake reviews, influencer hype, are people really swayed by, what a stranger says online?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's good to be skeptical. But the psychology behind what we call social proof is still so powerful.
Okay.
We're wired to look to others, to know how to act, what to believe.
Yeah, makes sense.
Online reviews, those influencers, even those glowing testimonials on websites, they all tap into that human instinct.
Oh, it's like that wisdom of the crowd kind of thing.
Exactly.
You feel like, okay, less likely to make a mistake if other people have had good experiences.
It reduces that risk, builds that trust. But the key here is authenticity. The article really stresses that.
Right.
Generic, over-the-top testimonials, it can actually backfire. You want real experiences.
Yeah, you want the real deal.
Ideally with visuals, photos, videos, that kind of thing.
That makes sense. And keeping them fresh, varied, that's important too, right?
Absolutely.
Showcasing different clients, experiences, adds to that credibility. It's like, hey, we're not just good for one type of client. We can deliver for all sorts.
It all ties back to that versatility. You're building a comprehensive picture.
Love it. So we've got the portfolio as our high-end boutique, pricing transparency to build trust, social proof from real people. What's next in our website deep dive?
The article then gets into a part of websites people often overlook.
Okay.
But it can make or break a client's decision, the contact process,
Right.
specifically that online inquiry form.
Oh, I've been there. Struggling with clunky forms, missing fields, those radio buttons that seem to have a mind of their own, it's enough to make you give up.
Right. Makes you want to scream.
Why do so many websites make it so hard to just get in touch?
It often comes down to neglecting what we call UX design,
Okay.
user experience. We get caught up in how it looks, but how it works is crucial. Every click, every scroll, that's all part of the experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it's frustrating, they're gone.
So it's like you have this gorgeous storefront, but the door is locked.
Exactly. You need to make it easy for people to come in, browse around,
Makes sense.
anticipate their needs, make it easy to find what they're looking for,
Right.
get the info they need, and ultimately, take that action you want.
Contacting you, booking you, whatever it is.
Precisely.
The article has some great tips. Making the form mobile-friendly, capturing key details like preferred contact methods, ensuring a prompt response, even if it's just an automated email saying, hey, got it.
It shows you respect their time.
It's the little things.
Those little details, huge difference. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The article suggests going beyond that basic contact form, having a blog section.
Oh, a blog.
Dedicated to, behind-the-scenes stuff, sharing your expertise.
I love that idea. It's like an extension of that user experience, inviting people in, making them feel part of the journey.
Right. It goes beyond just the transaction of the website. It's fostering a connection. Think about brands you love online.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just constantly selling you stuff, are they?
Oh, definitely not. The ones I love, they're sharing interesting content, maybe teaching me something new, making me laugh sometimes.
They're building a relationship with you.
Exactly.
A well-crafted blog can do the same thing. It lets you share your expertise, your unique perspective, even your personality. Makes your brand, human and relatable.
Which is so important these days. It's like the difference between a salesperson and a friend. One's trying to sell you something, the other is genuinely interested in you, sharing something valuable.
Perfect analogy. That's the power of a good blog.
Actually, you know what? I hired a photographer recently whose blog totally sold me. They were sharing stories from shoots, talking about how they approach those candid moments. They even gave tips for preparing for a photo session. I felt like I was getting to know them.
And their work on a deeper level.
Yes.
Instant trust.
That's exactly what you want. The article really highlights that human touch aspect, sharing those personal stories, insights. Even your process, it makes you relatable, approachable.
It positions you as an expert, you know? Someone who's passionate, knowledgeable.
Right.
Plus, you can't forget the SEO benefits the article mentions.
Yes. Can't forget that.
Regularly updating your blog with relevant content does wonders for your search engine ranking, which is crucial.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just about stuffing keywords. It's about creating content that's actually helpful, informative, using language that your ideal clients are actually searching for.
Exactly. Finding that sweet spot, optimizing for those search engines, and, writing for humans. Because at the end of the day, it's people reading your blog, not robots. This has been so insightful. It's amazing how something like a wedding videography website can teach us so much about building any online presence.
Right.
It's about showcasing your work, being transparent, building that trust, connecting with your audience like a human being. But how do we turn that into action?
How do we put it into practice?
That's what we'll get into in part 2.
Back again for more of this website deep dive. Really digging into these strategies. They work for so many different fields. It's fascinating.
Me too. And, as we were wrapping up talking about those contact forms, it really hit me just how crucial the whole user experience is. Like, you could have the most stunning website, but if it's a pain to use, you're going to lose people.
It's true. It's like, imagine, a beautiful shop, but the door is locked.
Exactly.
No one can come in and see what you've got.
User experience, or UX as they call it. Every little thing someone does on your website, that's their experience.
It all adds up.
If it's frustrating, confusing, they're going to leave. Find someone else who makes it easier.
You're absolutely right. Think of it like this. You're anticipating what your visitor needs, what they want. You make it effortless for them to find things.
Yeah.
Understand what you offer. And ultimately, get them to do what you want them to do.
Right. Contact you, book you, whatever that action is.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to that blog idea the article mentioned. It's like you're saying, come on in behind the scenes.
Giving them a little peek.
Yeah. Creating a connection that's deeper than just, hey, buy my services.
Think about the brands you love.
Yeah.
They're not always trying to sell you something directly.
No, not at all. The ones I love are like Sharing interesting stuff, teaching me things I didn't know,
Yeah, even making you laugh.
building a relationship, you know?
Exactly. A good blog does that too. Shares expertise, unique perspective. You can even let your personality come through.
Which is so key online.
Yeah.
So much noise out there. It's like the difference between, the pushy salesperson versus a friend who's actually got good advice.
Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
I actually hired a photographer recently, and their blog totally sold me.
Oh, really?
They were sharing stories from their shoots, talking about how they capture those candid moments. They even gave tips like, hey, here's how to prep for a photo session. I felt like I knew them before I even met them.
Building that trust.
Constant trust, yeah.
Article, it highlights that human touch,
Hmm.
sharing personal stories, insights,
Yeah.
even your process.
Makes you more relatable, approachable.
Right. You're not just this faceless business.
You're an expert. Someone who's passionate, knows their stuff.
Exactly. And we can't forget those SEO benefits the article talks about.
Yes, SEO. Can't forget that these days.
Keeping your blog updated regularly with the right keywords. It tells search engines, hey, this website's active. It's relevant.
So it's not just about cramming those keywords in. It's about being genuinely interesting, helpful, using words your audience is actually searching for.
Absolutely. Finding that sweet spot, optimizing for search, but still writing for, actual people.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the ones reading your blog.
Right, not robots. Though wouldn't that be something? So the article specifically mentions the human touch when it comes to blogging. And I feel like for wedding videographers, that's going to be super important, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially in a field like that, so much emotion, personal connection.
Weddings are so personal. Couples are looking for vendors who not only have the skills, but get them.
Right. Understand them.
Understand the emotion of the day, can capture those real moments.
Exactly. A blog can really show that side of you. Your personality, passion.
Empathy.
It builds trust, rapport.
It's like saying, hey, I'm not just some random person with a camera. I get what this day means to you, and I'm going to capture it beautifully.
That's a great way to put it. It goes beyond just, the technical skill. It's tapping into the heart of what makes a wedding video special.
It's the love story, the real emotions.
And a blog can reflect that sensitivity.
So it's about letting your guard down a little, letting people see the why behind what you do.
That passion is contagious.
It really resonates with people, makes them more likely to connect with you, and ultimately choose you as their videographer.
It all comes back to trust.
I'm seeing how these tips, even though they're from the wedding world, they apply to pretty much any business, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's showcasing your work, being transparent, building trust, connecting on a human level. But are those the only things to consider when you're trying to build a truly effective online presence? We're going to dig into that and more when we come back for our final segment.
We're back for the final part of our website deep dive, ready to bring all this together, give you some tips you can actually use.
I am. It's been really cool to see how even something like a wedding videography website can give us these kind of universal strategies.
Right. It doesn't matter what you do. It's about telling your story, being transparent, building that trust, connecting with your people on a human level.
100%. And remember that thing we talked about, showcasing diversity in your portfolio.
Yeah.
It's more than just checking boxes. It's about showing those potential clients that you can adapt to different styles, different preferences, even challenges.
So for our wedding videographer example, you might showcase all kinds of weddings.
Right.
Intimate backyard ceremonies, huge ballroom receptions, traditional religious ceremonies, modern ones. Even highlight your experience with different cultural traditions.
It's not just the setting either.
Right.
It's the storytelling approach.
Right.
Maybe one video is like this cinematic highlight reel with drone shots and music. Another is more intimate documentary style, focused on those raw emotions.
So you're saying, hey, I'm not just doing the same thing over and over. I can capture your unique love story in a way that fits you.
Exactly. And this translates to anything. If you're a designer, you might show projects in different styles, from minimalist to bold and colorful. A writer, you might highlight, different genres and formats. It's about saying, I can adapt to what you need.
And I think it's important to say, showcasing that diversity, it doesn't mean you lose your own style.
Oh, definitely not. You don't want to be a chameleon, blending in completely.
Right. You still got to be you.
It's about taking your distinct voice and bringing it into different contexts, catering to different preferences.
It's a balance, for sure. Okay, let's recap. We've talked about your portfolio being like your digital storefront, the importance of being upfront about pricing and the service packages, the power of testimonials, and even using that behind-the-scenes blog strategically. What stands out to you as the most valuable thing we've learned?
For me, it's that overarching idea of building trust, connection. In the online world, there's so many choices, so much skepticism.
It can be overwhelming.
You really need to establish that credibility, foster those genuine relationships. And your website, that's the foundation.
I totally agree. It's not just about having a fancy website, a catchy tagline. It's got to feel real, welcoming, a true reflection of you.
Letting people see your heart, not just your skills.
Yes. And building that strong online presence, it's a journey, not a destination, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's ongoing, always learning, evolving. But the things we've talked about, that user experience, the transparency, the genuine connection.
Those are timeless.
Exactly.
So as we wrap this up, one final thought. We've talked a lot about attracting clients. But what about attracting the right clients?
Ooh, that's a good one.
The ones who not only get your work, but also align with your values, your vision.
Important distinction.
Think about that as you're building your online presence. It's not just about getting any clients. It's about finding those people who really appreciate what you do and champion you.
So well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.